Okay, folks, well, here we are. We're at the Green Cross again, and I'm sitting with Jared, who I've known for about a year now, and we've had some very interesting conversations, and I've learned a lot from him, especially about the diabetic neuropathy and how cannabis works for it. So Jared's graciously enough is going to explain his experiences so we can share it all out with you. Go ahead, Jared.
Well, I guess my experience with this whole cannabis industry, for me, it came into my life and it was prevalent because, about 15 years ago, I was contracted with type 1 diabetes, and I wasn't very good with my blood sugars and really taking care of myself, and I wasn't on the right diet and so forth and so on. And I actually got really high arches in my feet, and I started noticing, especially on flat surfaces, I was getting these aches and these pains, these throbbing issues in my feet, and things were getting numb, and I was also getting sharp pains. So I got orthotics, and I went on this neuropathy medication called gabapentin, and what that does is it targets the throbbing in my feet, but I was still having issues in the tips, and I was on all sorts of pharmaceuticals, hydromorphone, we tried Percocets for a while, things like that. And then I started really getting onto THC because that really helped with the pain, but I'm still having issues with my feet. And even though I religiously was taking my gabapentin, I'm on 1,200 milligrams a day, I'm still having sharp pains. So I started taking CBD because I heard that cannabinoids enhance different cells in your body and they help with all sorts of ailments. So I thought, okay, why not try it? And the sharp pains in the ends of my toes started disappearing. And I just stayed on a regimen,
And that was CBDs.
And that's just pure CBD, It's a non-psychoactive, right? So it's not going to get you stoned. It's not going to make you less aware. If anything, it's going to make you more aware. For me, the faster my body can absorb something and get into my bloodstream and do its work, the better. There's all sorts of different ways of taking it. You can take it by pills, by gummy, by tincture. You do it underneath the tongue, bilingually. Is that the word for it? So you can, because that's a good way of absorbing it. It's changed my life. I don't know what else to say. I'm not on hydromorphone anymore. I don't take Percocets. I'm off all pharmaceuticals except for the anti-rejection medication to keep me alive because I had a kidney transplant from my diabetes. But right now, my my neuropathy, it's under control. It's completely under control.
So what about, have you used any THC with the neuropathy, and what your experiences have been with that also?
Absolutely. The THC was a big reason why I got off of the hydromorphone, because pharmaceutical painkillers, any opioid, anything like that, it does take time for it to do its job to work. With THC, it's instantaneous. It doesn't completely kill my pain, but it takes my mind off of it. I'm no longer focusing on that. I can think about other things. I can move on with my life. It's that simple, and I find a combination of the right medication. I'm not saying the pharmaceuticals that my doctor prescribes me keep me alive, right? These drugs make my life livable. That's why they're here. That's why I got a prescription made out from my doctor, from my specialist. I got it from the government, and I've been doing it ever since. And like I said, I'm on no more heavy painkillers. I take my CBD. I'm not suffering from foot pain.
Okay. So a question that I get asked a lot would be, as far as dosing goes. Like, to start out, what would you recommend for anyone that's going through what you're going through? Would you start them out on CBDs to see what would your recommendation be for dosing? And what are you currently doing for dosing right now?
Well, the first thing I would start with, if you're having anything and you're looking to experiment, is start with the non-psychoactives, and that's what CBD is. It's the THC is a psychoactive portion, and that offers a great deal of pain relief. But if depending if you're an indica or a sativa smoker, I find with an indica you're more relaxed. With a sativa, it gives you a lot of energy, and if you're not an experienced cannabis user, something like that can give you anxiety and stuff, things and so forth. The psychoactive is a different world, right? It's not like you know, when you become an adult, you know, when you're 19 and you start drinking or whatever, you have a casual drink, you enjoy it, this and that. You don't just jump right in and drink, you know, a heavy amount and get drunk and feel like shit. You don't go into it like that. The best thing to do is just try little bits and see how your body reacts to it, because everybody's system reacts different. Everybody's different, right? That's why a sativa will work for somebody, an indica will work for another, but that's like I said, that's the psychoactive and the pain-killing world. If you actually want to go to preventative maintenance and just doing what's right for your body, I mean, I would try the CBDs. It's a natural product that's extracted purely from hemp. And like I said, like you can drive a vehicle, you can be a doctor, you can do anything in life. You can be a police officer. There's nothing wrong, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with CBD. You know, that is a health product here to enhance life, right?
Cool.